Hello, I'm Kristen. I'm a Master Gardener intern. I'm a licensed teacher with a master's in early childhood. I was teaching 3 to 6-year-olds before I had my daughter, who is now 2. Today I'm going to be showing you how to start seeds with a young child, sometimes also called seed germinating. I think there's many benefits to gardening with young children and having them start their own seeds. They tend to be more adventurous vegetable eaters if they were involved in growing the vegetables themselves, and it's so fun for them to see the seed that they planted germinate and pop up out of the ground. This activity, I put everything that we will need out on a low shelf where my daughter can access it. For us, what works is the top of a shoe rack. We have a very small home. After I show her how to do the activity, she is welcome to work with it whenever she wants to. I will keep this seed starting tray out for the season or for as long as she is interested in working with it. So I have provided a small child-size apron and a little mat. These are certainly not necessary, but they do kind of help with easy cleanup at the end. Here I have a little box with seed starting soil, which can be purchased at any gardening store, Home Depot, lots of places once the season comes. If you have like sometimes a little like canister with a lid, that works even better than what I have. And then here I have a little tray with the rest of our materials. There's a trowel. You can also use just like a spoon, like maybe like a tablespoon, if that's what you have around. If you are interested in buying something, I do recommend getting a nice metal trowel. My daughter truly uses these materials, and it can be frustrating if a plastic one breaks. Then we have just little plastic like seed starting pots. They do have holes in the bottom, which is nice for if they get overwatered, which they probably will. You can also use like a yogurt container that's left over. You could use like an egg carton, a lot of people do. Like you can just find things around your home that can be recycled. Those terracotta pots can be nice as well. And then here we have a little box with the seeds we will be growing. So I chose like a child-friendly cherry tomato. A little label so we know what she grew. And then there's the tomato seeds that she can pick up and put in her pot out on a tray so they're easy to grab. Last year when she was 1, I did not worry about like the picture, the seed packets with the picture or the labels. I simply put this little tray of seeds out for her just so she could see like the variety of seeds that are out there, and she could kind of choose which one she liked and just see all the differences and similarities. So last year we did not worry about what kind of seed went into each pot, and we had like quite the mixture in each one. You'll see in the video that I gave her the option of 3 types of seeds, which I decided that since she cannot read, she's not able to be successful in putting like the proper label in on her own. So I decided that for now, I'm either going to put out 1 seed at a time so she can see the seed, she can see the picture of what it will grow into from the seed packet, and she can have, I'll probably do like 2 or 3 labels at a time since I have 3 little pots here. So I'll do as many labels as I have pots. And then I have a little pitcher for water. This did make a bit of a mess with like watery soil. You could do a spray bottle as well. That would stay a bit cleaner. Or you could do like a watering can. And I really like IKEA's selection of like small children's watering cans. I like ones with just like one spout, like one single spout for watering inside. And then kind of like the multiple holes that'll do like a sprinkle when the child is watering outside. And then we have a little cloth to pick up any spills at the end, which there absolutely are spills. And you can just use like any washcloth for this. Like I made this for my classroom, so it's for a room of 30 children. So it's a bit more than what I would expect a parent to put together for their child. I just use like what you have around, like things that you have in your home is perfect. Going back to the soil really quick, I do recommend that you only put out as much soil as you're comfortable cleaning up. Spills sometimes can happen of the entire pot, and it's nice not to have too much soil in there. All of the materials are placed in order of use from left to right. This allows a young child, or this helps a young child to know which step comes next, because they know which material comes next. And it's actually an indirect preparation for writing and reading in English down the road. Another thing to notice is that everything is small and child-sized, including the trowel, which a spoon works as well. And this helps the young child to be able to like successfully manage the material in their hands. We provided a tray, which is just an old cake pan that we weren't using, on top of a warming mat underneath a grow light. We do a lot of seed starting in our home, so we're going to use like this entire area for lots and lots of seeds. If you don't have a setup like this, no problem. A windowsill works great as well. And you can see the little pots that my daughter planted. Go to present this activity to my child. I will choose a time when she is well rested and feeling her best. You'll also notice that during the presentation, I limit what I say. This is intentional to help draw her attention to my hands. It's through work with the hands that children build their intelligence. I model a way that she can be as successful as possible with the seed planting. And then when I invite her to take over, or when I invite her to like have a turn, I really let her have a go. Like if she just wants to play with the soil for a bit, like that's totally fine. If she only halfway fills a pot, that's absolutely all right as well. I try to limit all distractions so that she can concentrate to the best of her abilities. We'll be working at a children's table with a stool next to it for myself. You could also do this at like a counter with a stool for your child, or you could do it just at like the kitchen table or the dining room table, or even on the floor, wherever works well for your family. I'll put it up here. All right. So we have our soil, our trowel, our pots for the seeds. Put this back for now. Our seed packets, labels. Here are our seeds. Put it back for now. I'm going to show you and then you can do this. Then we have our pitcher for water and our drying cloth. I'm going to put this tray out of our way. Okay? Okay, I am going to do one, Hazel, and then you can do the rest. Yes. All right? So you watch me do one and then I'm going to do the rest. Just watch. I'm gonna bring it a little closer. The trowel's a little dirty. I'm gonna wipe it off. Okay, so we can plant a tomato seed, a broccoli seed, or a pepper seed. Which one should we plant? Tomato seed? Okay, watch me first. Watch me first. I'm gonna make a little hole. Just one.
That's why.
Oh, now we need to go get some water. You can do the next one, Hazel. Let's go get some water. Thank you. All right, oh, you can do the next one, honey. So we planted a tomato. This is what it's gonna look like. Yum. And this one says tomato. Let's go take it to our grow lights. It can go right here on the tray. So you can plant as many as you like, Hazel, and when you're done, I'll help you clean up.
I help, Mom.
to remember that young children are creatures of process, not product. Simply doing this activity or even part of this activity is where they benefit from, as opposed to the plant that they necessarily will grow. So last year when my daughter's pots were just a jumbled mix of like beans and sunflowers and squash, I didn't expect that these would be plants that we would end up transferring to our garden. This year, I think we might get some nice seedlings from what she grows. And so it will be really nice for her to know, like, I started this cherry plant all the way from a seed, but that certainly isn't the goal. Like the goal of this exercise with young children is not that they can like eat a tomato from the plant that they started. That can be a goal for like when they're older, and they'll enjoy that when they're older. For now, it's simply about doing the activity is where they benefit from. So this activity can be modified in many ways to fit how your family gardens. You could use, for example, like a clear cup, which there's an example of doing like little grass heads in the do section. And the clear cup allows you to see the roots growing, which can be really fun. You could use like a decorative pot with some flower seeds. My family was doing our like large seed spring planting a couple days ago. And my daughter wanted to plant with us. Like we were all planting as a group and she wanted to be a part of it. And it was awesome that I had these materials ready because I was able to pull it out for her. But instead of like sitting at a table by herself and doing it as an individual activity the way it was intended, she sat at the table with the rest of us, and then she would fill the cups. And then her grandpa would give her a seed to put in them. And then her grandma would make a label for it. So she was able to do this like as part of a group, which was really nice as well. But because of all of these kind of like principles to remember about young children and the way we can provide materials and activities for them, it was able to be like very successful as well, even though she's only 2 years old. I don't have much experience in seed starting with elementary children. I talked about some accommodations that you can make or modifications you can make to this activity, whether you're doing it with like a very young toddler all the way up to making it more challenging to a child who's reading and writing by having like more seed varieties available. If they're writing, they could like write their own plant labels. There's lots of ways to modify this activity. If you're doing this with elementary children, some things to note is like they don't need the materials like pre-gathered on a tray. They can be more involved in getting the materials themselves, which can be very helpful. Elementary children love big work. They're not going to be as super interested in planting like the same pepper seed over and over and over and over again, the way young children love to repeat what they do. Elementary children love like experiments. So you could see like, does the seed grow as well in light as it does in darkness, like in a warm area as opposed to a cold area? And you can document all that with older children. So check out the do section for a write-up of this activity and additional seed starting ideas and language and sensorial extensions to this presentation I gave today. And let us know what you think.